Welcome to Hard Time Sports. I'm Matthew Schneider, and today's topic is NBA New York Knicks and President Phil Jackson. I think the New York Knicks are the laughing stock of the NBA and are an absolute joke since James Dolan, the owner, has taken over, and hiring Phil Jackson ended up being the biggest mistake that the New York Knicks have ever made. I think Phil Jackson sucks as president for ripping out your best player that you're trying to trade. What a stupid idiot. That's all I got to say about Phil Jackson. What a moron. And also about Phil Jackson, one other thing. A lot of people are thinking that he's the luckiest coach in NBA history. He had Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant as four of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. And what happened to him? He won 11 championships with four of the greatest players. I think Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs is a better coach. Basically, he had Tim Duncan and a lot of role players to win championships and play better as a team, where the other guys that Phil Jackson had on his team were better players, and that is why he won titles. And I think, let's go back to James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks now. I think he's a disgrace of an owner for what he did the other night to Charles Oakley by probably saying something to him and getting him kicked out of Madison Square Garden. Now he's banned for ever going to Knicks games. I think James Dolan is a disgrace as an owner, and I believe as long as the New York Knicks have James Dolan as their owner, I believe that the New York Knicks will always suck until they get new ownership, and they also will suck until they get a new president. I believe I could do a better job than Phil Jackson as the president. You want to know what I would do? First thing I would do is I would destroy the whole entire roster and probably rebuild. Or I would keep a few of the guys that are starters now. They'd be my bench players, and I would go out, and the first trade I would do is I would trade Carmelo Anthony to the Minnesota Timberwolves for head coach Tom Thibodeau and center Karl Anthony Towns, who I will turn into the next Patrick Ewing. That would be my first order of business I would do as president of the New York Knicks of basketball operations. We're getting Karl Anthony Towns to be the next Patrick Ewing, get Tom Thibodeau as our head coach, and then the head coach we have right now is Jeff Hornacek. I wouldn't fire him. I'd make him assistant head coach of the Knicks, and I would tell Thibodeau, we are going to run Jeff Hornacek's offense, but you will be the head coach of the New York Knicks, because you're a good defensive head coach when you're with the Boston Celtics and won a championship with Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, Paul Pierce. Thibodeau was a coach under Doc Rivers, and he went to the Bulls, and they made the playoffs 5 years in a row. And that is why I'd get Thibodeau as the head coach, Jeff Hornacek as the assistant head coach, and we'd go from there. And that's why I believe I would be the better president to run the New York Knicks over the trash that they have as president right now, Phil Jackson. But the only problem is, for president, I would never work for the owner named James Dolan. So for me to take this job, they'd have to have a better owner to buy the New York Knicks. So please, somebody, spend $3 billion. Buy the New York Knicks. Get rid of James Dolan. The fans want him gone. Fans want Phil Jackson out of New York. And as long as them two are in the New York Knicks will be a travesty to the NBA and will always suck until those two guys are out of the team. The Knicks will never win a championship. They are a disgrace to the game. They're a disgrace to fans who watch their games. And they're a disgrace to everybody who supports the NBA, to the game of basketball. They should not be run. James Dolan should not be an owner. What he does to his players, treats them with disrespect. Who wants to go to a team where the owner treats your players like they're trash? Basically, that is why I'm here. Today was a great episode. I decided to do this because I'm doing what is right for the game of basketball, and I think they need better president and a better owner. So that's what I asked my topic today. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Enjoy the ball!